Hi, Leather Rokk here. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to treat you to a makeup tutorial and story time combined. Take a look at the makeup I'm wearing. This looks like it's a cut crease, but it's actually not. You get the look without having to go through all that mess. But first of all, I have a kitty that's trying to get out of my room. I better let him go. All right, go, go. Okay. So anyway, I was looking for an exact color match to this Christmas sweater, and most of my small palettes didn't have a color that came even close, and I didn't feel like mixing colors, so I'll show you which palette I used. This is one of the first palettes I got from B&H Cosmetics. I bet I got it over 2 years ago. This is their first edition 120 color eyeshadow palette. This is something I don't carry out of the house too much because I'm so afraid of dropping it and shattering it. But I show you, this has 2 trays built in. And this is a palette that you can get a perfect rainbow out of. There were 6 editions of this palette, and this is the brightest one. So this is the one I got, and matter of fact, I waited for a 50% off sale, so it cost me less than $9 for this. And I'm really glad I got it, but I don't use it very much because the pans are very small, and it's the sort of thing that if I wanted to use the same look for 3 or 4 days, I probably wouldn't reach for this palette because I'd be afraid that I would use those colors up. But this would be ideal if you're going to be using a number of looks, so you don't use up any one color too much. Well, before I get showing you how I got it, I'm going to tie my hair up. And I have a story for you. So let me adjust my camera a little bit so you can see my outfit some more. This skirt that I'm wearing is a mini skirt that those Catholic nuns gave me. It's by a company called Uggs. And you could see, in fact, it is absolutely a mini skirt. Well, a couple hours ago, I went to see my sister friends, and I showed them the skirt that they got me for Christmas. And you should have seen, you could have heard a pin drop. The oldest of the nuns there, she said to me, "Oh, I thought that was a scarf." So they gave this to me thinking it was a scarf. Now, I have been visiting them since the middle of the summer, so they are obviously used to seeing me wear mini skirts. Anybody that knows me, that's pretty much the uniform I wear. So they thought that they got me this scarf. And I don't want to say they were horrified or scandalized or anything, but they definitely tripped out. So they said, "Wait a minute, we have another skirt for you." So check this out. Okay, now this they thought was a size small. Let me adjust this. This must be, they have junior sizes and they have women's sizes. And it in fact does say size small. But now, one of my male friends taught me years ago an idea of figuring out whether you could fit the waistband if it wasn't elasticized. He said if you put your elbow in, you could tell if it fits. Of course, if it's got elastic in it, it's going to fool you. Well, obviously, things should start here, and it's here. And if I adjust this, you will see that if this is a size small, it's, I don't know what kind of small it is. So I was thinking I could possibly make a mini dress out of this and belt it in the middle. But you know what? It still goes past my knees. So anyway, I'm not going to tell them that it doesn't fit. But if I ever have any religious occasion, now I know that I'm against the patriarchy and I'm against misogyny, and modesty standards I think are totally ridiculous. However, that said, if I get invited to somebody's special occasion and it happens to be at a house of worship, I have no problem with wearing a long skirt or a long dress. It's not that I'm catering to patriarchy, it's just I'm showing some respect. And it doesn't mean that all cultures deserve or get my respect. Oh, by the way, I had 2 earrings, and I think I lost one today, and that really pisses me off. But hey, I got it at the 99-cent store. So let me have a sip of coffee here. Mm. Oh, speaking of scandalizing, this mug is from a place called the Cat House. It's in Sebring, Florida. No, it's not a bordello. It's actually a restaurant. It may even be a bed and breakfast, and it's all full of cat curios and things. And years ago, my mother and my grandma went there. Matter of fact, they even gave me a T-shirt that said "Support your local cat house." And this is when I still lived in Los Angeles. And I would wear it occasionally, and some older gentlemen would look at me like they thought, in fact, that I worked at a cat house. So I kind of stopped wearing it. And then in a home invasion, it's one of many things that got stolen, so I don't have it anymore. But I kind of wish I did, just for a collector's item value. Okay, time for the makeup. Now, I'm going to use this oil to take it off. And you know what? I better close my door so that we don't hear noise. Alrighty. Oh, and the Wi-Fi situation is still off. I was filming a makeup video here yesterday, and after I got finished it, I said, okay, I'm going to get ready to go out, get Wi-Fi, but I just tested my internet, and I actually got a home signal yesterday for about 5 hours. So I was able to do some day job work. I was able to do a couple of surveys, and got some things done, and then all of a sudden I started another survey, and I lost my internet. So I would like to thank my viewer that sent me the link to test out the T-Mobile. I filled out the form, and I am waiting for whatever it is they're supposed to send me in the mail. Now, I don't know whether I'm going to be able to use that with this laptop computer or not. Apparently, these things with these cell phones, they use something called a SIM card, which I've heard of, but I don't know too much about them. I know absolutely nothing about cell phones, okay? I've never had one. People hand them to me to take pictures, but other than that, I really don't know anything about them. And I still say, when people try to tell me on Facebook that people aren't really using laptops anymore, that you've got the same functionality with the cell phone. But I don't believe you can do video editing on a cell phone. And not that I'm any good at editing anyway, and obviously now that I'm using a Chromebook, it does not have Windows functionality, so there is no editing capability that I've been able to find. Not unless you're willing to pay for one of those services that they'll give you, like you can get 5 minutes worth of free editing time a month. And if you're a Luddite like myself, you need a hell of a lot more than 5 minutes, even for one thing. Now, this palette does come with a mirror. I want to make sure that I didn't screw up my eyebrow like I did for the video that I made yesterday. And I was really mad at myself that I wasn't able to fix it on camera because I didn't have the pencils with me. So this is the foundation that I'm wearing. This is from The Ordinary. I cannot say enough about this foundation. I'm not sure exactly how wide their shade range is. I can tell you that I'm wearing the absolute palest one. It's the, I should look at this one, 1.0 NS coverage. Very fair, neutral with silver highlights. Yeah, I can't believe Tabby Boy. I started doing this video, and I didn't grab him at first, and as soon as he saw that I turned the computer on, he jumped down, started to run under my bed. So I grabbed him, and I said, no, we're not going to do this. I am going to exploit my cats for my channel. I love my cats. From the comments, you guys love my cats also. I think my videos always look better with a cat involved. Now, one of the things that I would like to do for my channel, I have a friend named Chuck who has a dog named Gilligan. And Gilligan is some kind of a Schnauzer Terrier mix. I don't know. I really don't know a lot about dogs. But this dog is the most precious, endearing, adorable little guy. And this dog's really interesting. He's been around a lot of homeless people, a lot of drunks. He's on his like fourth owner. And from what I understand, this dog cannot stand drunks. And well, and the dogs, they have a great sense of smell. They could smell when people sweat out drugs and alcohol. And one thing, if you're a dog, you never have to worry about me sweating out alcohol because I don't drink anymore. So that, and a dog apparently isn't offended by the cat smell that I'm sure I must reek of kitties. But this dog took a liking to me, and I will go out of my way. The man who has the dog, he goes to hang out with the sisters too and have the coffee and the donuts and the bagels and iced tea and all the good things. And I don't go there for the food. I get up mostly because I want to go and get myself an internet connection. But these people, it's definitely worth getting up for and hanging out. And it's a real nice group of people. And I've made friends there. And I can honestly say that those sisters are very sincere and very decent. And you could tell that they love people. And I'm all about people that want to make the world a better place and that act out of love. I think that's what you hope for in human beings. And they're really great people. So, all right, now, oh. Before let's see, I have to put the stuff on that covers my eyelid. Ooh, uh-oh. Well, guess what? This touched my filthy floor. I gotta wash that. I wasn't going to use that for this anyway. I am looking for that stuff that I put on my eyes, the primer. And the one that I actually used was the matte one, but if I can't find it, I will use the other one. They're both of them are by Ulta Beauty. This is a tinted eye primer in champagne. Now, if you use this and you're very, very pale like myself, I highly recommend that you use foundation first, especially up at the edge of your eyebrow. Otherwise, these tinted primers are going to be too dark and it's not going to give you that flesh tone look that you probably want. If you're darker, ignore my advice because I'm not going to tell you what looks best on you. I would think that all of us are experts on our own particular, our skin color and our skin type. You know yourself better than anybody else is going to. So any so-called advice I give you, keep your personal situation into account and use what works for you, and what doesn't work for you, well, you know yourself best. Okay, I'm going to carry some of this to my lower lash line because I'm going to be putting eyeshadow underneath there also. And my sinuses are really acting up. It's all this time I'm spending in casinos getting free Wi-Fi and getting exposed to that ambient cigarette smoke, and it really affects my sinuses terribly. All right, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to dip into one of the trays here. There is a bunch of, in addition to the bright colors, you do have some brown flesh tone colors, and you have starts from a white and a silver and a gold and various permutations of gold and silver, real flesh tone. And there is a very pale gold that's almost an off-white. It's slightly shimmery, but not overtly so. And I'm going to use this, and I'm going to hit the area just touching the brow bone. I hear a phone ringing in the other room, and it better not be for me because I'm filming. And the roommates know when I'm filming, I am not to be disturbed. Oh, now you know what? I could see where I screwed up my eyebrow and I am going to fix it on camera. Now, one thing I did with the eyebrows is instead of mixing, usually I mix these two colors to get an accurate thing, but for some reason I started the eyebrow with this color and then covered it with the purple. So I'm going to go ahead and do what I did. So when I first did the blue, it looked like a very close match to the sweater. The one part of my makeup that is the most problematic, takes the most time, and is the closest thing to being stressful has got to be the eyebrows. Getting them so that they match exactly, getting them so they're symmetrical. It's not that I'm recreating a shape that I don't have. The shape is there. It's just going from something that is basically practically see-through, because I'm a redhead, and redheads, for the most part, they unfortunately don't tend to be blessed with nice dark brows. So having to do this, it's a real pain, and it takes too much time. It's just like sometimes you ever be in a hurry and you're doing your lipstick and you screw up the lip line, and it's something as easy as putting on lipstick should not be rocket science, but if you're in a hurry, you could screw up. And poorly done eyebrows and crooked lipstick both are really irritating. Now this is not perfect. As you can see, there is some smearing of eyeshadow of makeup. I was wearing a knit cap. It is rather chilly out there, and whenever you wear knit caps, they are going to mess with your eyebrow makeup. So, okay, we've got your brow bone color on. Now, our next step is the fake cut crease. This is so easy. You don't have to deal with those messy cut creases, all the gloppy extra concealer. You don't have to worry about that. This is so easy. Cut creases are very intimidating to a lot of people, especially if you have hooded lids and you get a lot of friction going on there. Cut creases can really smear, and they look good at first, and an hour or two later, or at the end of the day, everything's all blended and stuff. This shouldn't do that. It's so much easier. What I'm doing is, and one of the best things about this palette is I put my clothing that I'm trying to do the match to, and I get the closest thing to a perfect color match as possible. And I can see that the closest thing to perfect is this color here. Now, this brush I'm using, this is a very expensive brush. I would never pay money for this. This brush is a MAC brush that somebody lost in Washington, D.C. last time I was there. It was probably one of the volunteers of one of those churches I ate at. I feel bad for them because you're going to plunk down $40 on a brush and you're going to lose it. If I ground score it, it's mine. And I am a germaphobe too, but you know what? I know how to wash with hot water and soap. So I've covered this brush with this makeup, and I am going to go exactly where my crease is. And I'm going to sweep carefully, being careful not to get any color on the lid itself. Your lids are been prepped with that tacky primer. You could feel free to use a moisturizing foundation, but now if your foundation dries down, it's not going to work. You really want a moist, tacky surface for the eyeshadow to adhere to. Oop, wrong tray. Making sure it's the right one. There's so many colors here, it's easy to make a mistake and get the wrong one. Something else to wash. This is probably not the best brush to use for this. I would think one of those smaller crease brushes would be better. I have so many, right now I have 10 wet eyeshadow brushes that are drying. I always wash my brushes after every use. So you can figure out at the end of the night I have so many brushes drying. You don't want to get this too thick. I think I've gotten it a little thicker than I want to. Then, using the same brush, again, a thinner brush would be better. You want to get a thin line, as thin as you can get with the brush you're using. And that area right under your lower lash line that you covered with that primer should ideally help this color to stick really nicely. Try to get it as thin as you can. Now this teal blue aqua color, if you happen to have green eyes, it will intensify the green by contrast. Because this color looks more blue. It only has a tiny little bit of green. It's mostly a blue color. So if you have truly green eyes, it will bring them out. Especially since most people's green eyes veer blue-gray kind of. So this will definitely make the green stand out. And a lot of natural redheads have green eyes. So it's the white thing. And I hear a ghetto fight out the window. I would like to open my window and scream at them. Now the brush I'm going to use next, the handle broke off and I just hold it like this. And I actually like using it like that. It's more portable. There is a perfect matte red here. There's actually three kinds of red here. And this red I have used a number of times. It is a very ideal Christmas red. It's a very ideal patriotic red. It's sort of kind of tomato red, not really pink, not really orange. It's, I guess you might call it a true red. Now with this, I am, ooh, you know what? Not yet. I could see that I have to fix the blue. Okay, I am dipping into this blue again. I can see that it looks sheerer here than it does on the other side. And you really want these to match. Okay, now I can go with the red. I am touching only on the lid itself. I'm exactly approaching the crease, but not really touching it. But there shouldn't be any bare skin. It should be exactly hit up against the blue. If you do it right, it's going to look like you cut a crease without having to do that. I love the look of a cut crease. It's kind of a drag queeny, very edgy look. It's not a blended look. It's a very stark, dramatic look. But they can definitely be intimidating. The mess factor. And some people, instead of just putting the foundation or the concealer or whatever they use to cut the crease, some people actually use an oil, a makeup remover, and just take the makeup off. And then you have to pat a concealer on, and it can get really messy. I don't know about you, but it can be really frustrating when you're working on your makeup and it looks perfect and it looks good for about 10 minutes. And then things start to blend and things start to smear. And it's one thing when you're doing a video, a makeup thing, to do a video to show you guys how it's done. But if you're putting makeup on to go out and run your life, you would like your makeup to last longer than 10 minutes. And that's so frustrating when things smear and you know it looked good when you're around the house, but you catch yourself in a plate glass window or something and you're thinking, "Oh my god, who is that Picasso staring back?" Now, did I get red lipstick on my nose? Or not lipstick, eyeshadow. That's what it looks like. Time for eyeliner. For the eyeliner, I'm only putting it on the upper lid, and this is the Wet Wild H2O Proof. This is my second container of this. The first one I got, I didn't care for it too much. I like the application. I like the feel of it. I like the wand and the point. But the first one of these was not really waterproof, and it would smear right away. This second thing, I got two of them because it was buy one, get one free, or buy one, get one half off, whatever. The second one is much more waterproof, and I don't know why one batch would be different than another. Very carefully get the finest line you could possibly get. I noticed a lot of YouTubers, they do their eyeliner off camera because it's so easy to smudge it. But those are the people who do all that fancy editing. And I can't edit on a Chromebook, so. And I did have somebody offer to do some editing for me, but it turned out that he wanted his clients to be in the room with him. Well, I'm not going to commute 400 miles one way just to get some basic editing done that if I had Windows machine, I could do myself. Because I wasn't looking for anything fancy. I was just looking for basically the same thing that I had finally learned how to do. I have footage that I shot in Washington, D.C. that I still haven't been able to show you guys because it's in sections. And I don't know how to put it together. I'm just going to have to wait until I get... There's this laptop that I had my eye on. And of course, the Black Friday sales are over. One of the days I tried turning on this computer camera and it wouldn't turn on, and I thought I was going to have to go to Best Buy, later on that week, and I was intending to go and see if this particular computer is cheaper. I was looking at it, and I think it's a Lenovo. I almost didn't want to get another laptop because I'm hell on hinges, but this price was reasonable enough that it made me think, oh God, I hate it when this happens. This is one of the reasons why sometimes I don't bother with eyeliner. It is so easy to smudge it. Oh, that irritates me. You just don't know. Now, if I had a Q-tip right now, that would be great for fixing it. Tiny, tiny, tiny little bit. This is so irritating. Some days I don't even bother with mascara. And I know it looks kind of stark when you literally have see-through lashes and they're short. But it is what it is. And we can't all have beautiful, long, dark lashes. And I'm not about to get into false eyelashes. I think that's just too phony. I could just imagine if, say, you wear all this makeup like I do, and you have false eyelashes on top of it, and you have a really big padded bra, and you have all this phony stuff, then I guess I can understand the point of where supposedly men don't like women that wear a lot of makeup because they think that they don't really know what she looks like, and then they're thinking, oh, if she takes it off, what's she look like and everything. And that's one of the things that occurs to me about false eyelashes, that is too much artifice. And I don't watch a lot of other people's makeup tutorials because I don't want to copy other people. I want to keep it original, and I don't really want to be inspired too much. I want to be inspired by my own life, and I want to bring my interest to my channel, and I'm afraid if I watch too much of other people's stuff. I don't want to plagiarize other people or copy other people. I think I have enough shtick of my own, and I certainly have the life experience. I have beauty school training. I have years of showbiz experience from Los Angeles, and even from here growing up. We had public access TV even when I was a little girl, and they would bring cameras into the public schools. And even things like that, you learn how to be comfortable in front of the camera. So, and my traveling experience. So, I'm going to incorporate these things into my channel. So, I think if I keep to a fair minimum, like I watch other things on YouTube, but I don't want to watch too many people doing too much similar things to what I'm doing because I don't want to copy other people. So, oh, this mascara is by a company called Manshiu, and it's called Sweet Cat Max Volume, and it's in black. And I know it's starting to dry out, but I don't want to get rid of it, and I'm going to save. I think I'm going to save it because I am a sucker for cat packaging. Okay, Tabby Boy's gone. Cassie, she's down the other end of the hall. Oh, let me show you the lipstick I'm wearing. The color is called Maria. This is a liquid lipstick by B&H Cosmetics, and I got it on kind of crooked. And the thing with these things is they dry. Once you apply them and they dry, they won't budge until you take them off with an oil-based makeup remover of some kind. So if you screw up, you're going to have a crooked lip for a while. And I screwed up. At the Sisters, I had a bagel and I had a donut and I had iced tea and I had coffee and I had some chocolate cookies. And I've tried fixing this a few times. And sometimes when you fix a crooked mouth and you have these lipsticks, sometimes you end up just making it worse. But if I was to put oil on it and take it off and put it on again, I would be a smeared mess. Oh, I wanted to show you the blush that I wore with this. This is I thought this was called Sparkle something. This is actually called Shine Brighter by Ulta Beauty. This came with a makeup palette, eyeshadow palette, and a blush bronzer palette. And that's what I'm using. Now the brush itself, I'm going to set this down. This better not fall. Oh, that would suck. The brush fell on the ground, so I'm not going to use it again. But I used this, then I used this. For the so-called highlighter, I actually used this, which is way too dark to be a highlighter. So that's where the glow came from. It's more subtle than I would normally like. But I wanted to use it because I wanted to use it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I forgot. I hope I didn't. But what do you think? Now, feel free to use this technique whenever you want to do a color match and you want that cut crease look, but you don't want to have to go through all that extra effort of putting the foundation on your eyelid and then taking it off and all that. This is a way to approximate a cut crease without actually having to go through it. It's much less messy, it's quicker, it's less stressful, and it probably will stay put for longer because you don't have all that extra layers of sticky stuff on your eyes. So, if you found this video helpful and you liked it, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you like me and my content, I would love to have you subscribe. And when you do, hit that bell so that it looks like it's ringing and you won't miss anything. Oh, I want to show you this too. One of my buddies gave me these hats. Now, these are weird colors. I Generally, I'm not much of a hat wearer unless it's my political statement hats, but I'm sure I can make some kind of groovy outfit with these. Now, granted, blue and orange is kind of weird, but hey, I love looking for different ways to play with color. So, there's my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I will talk to you soon. Bye.